Hello and welcome to the Blue Monday podcast covering Ipswich Town since 2015. I'm Richard Woodard and you are tuned in to the Prematch show, Wimbledon away edition, and on Burns night, hashtag Burns night, trademark Burns night, according to everyone on Twitter. I'm Brenna Willie. Joining me is David Diamond to talk through a 2-0 victory. Dave, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, good. A good solid win there, an important win as well to keep the momentum going. So yeah, a good night's work, albeit I think we spoke sort of off and on going through the game. I think we made slightly hard work of it, but we got the result in the end.
We did. I mean, it had similar vibes to Accrington, didn't it? In the respect of we might have lost or drawn that game a few months ago.
Yeah. There's a few more characters in the team there, I think, and you've just got match winners, haven't you?
Exactly right. Yeah, well, we'll talk more through that. As we say, it's live reaction tonight, so we want to hear from you. We've already got some great stuff in the comments, and we'll get to that shortly. There you go, Charlie D. Evening, everyone. Good work, Mr. Burns. Yeah, there you go. And he's rightly going to take the headlines, Dave.
I mean, even without his goals, he was good on the night, wasn't he? He was good in possession. Maybe he didn't quite get around the outside quite so much as usual, but yeah, he's had a good solid game, and the 2 goals capped it off. Really, he's now got 8 goals. He's got now 8, 9, 8, I think.
Yeah, we'll look into
and
a
good few assists as well. So yeah, he's well up there. At this stage for the Player of the Season award, you would think.
Oscar, evening to Oscar. 4 wins from 5 under the new manager. Dare we say, Dave, we finally found our man. I mean, those are great stats. First time we've won 3 games on the bounce since February last year, I believe. The kind of end of the Lambert era into Paul Cook.
So I mean, 4 out of 5 is we've said right the way through the season that's the sort of run you need to maintain. Certainly after our bad start, to actually gain some traction in the league. I think it'll be a far bigger test on Saturday, particularly with. We'll get to that as well. Another suspension kicking in as well now.
Yeah, not a great way to end the evening. Evening to Sully in New York wasn't Mick Mills especially miserable tonight? Well, Dave,
I listen. I get so fed up with that either Matthew or Mick Mills. I love Mick Mills, don't get me wrong, but sometimes Brenner. Sometimes I listen to the away. I'm with the away commentary on tonight. That was all right. I can deal with that. Yeah. Sorry, the light's gone again.
That's all right. That's a regular. If you've got your
propped up,
your Blue Mondays bingo, Dave's light.
When is Dave's lighting going to go? There you go. I think it'll be all right now. But it was. What were we? I've lost my thread. What were you saying?
We're talking about
Mills. No, I had the away. I had the away or the home commentary on. So yeah, that was all right. I didn't have a clue what it was. It wasn't any ex-player or anything like that. But yeah, they were fairly. I think it's always interesting to get their opinion of it. Obviously, they would say that certainly first half they thought we overplayed and could have been a bit more direct and stuff like that, but then conceded second half. That obviously after they had the chances, that once we scored the goal, we sort of pretty much had control.
Yeah, Brenda's commentary obviously does divide opinion. He was doing his best about 85 minutes to tempt fate and get a Wimbledon goal, which always winds me up a little bit. But Mick Mills, I think, was Mick Mills was expressing a perspective that quite a lot of us had. As soon as that goal goes in at 1-0, Mick Mills was sort of saying, well, I now expect this team to dominate and take control of the game. And we never really did. And I think, to be fair to him, he was right, wasn't he? We didn't really impose ourselves.
No, we didn't. Not really. No, we didn't. We did concede a few chances there. The lad cut inside on his left foot, didn't he? That was a pretty good effort. But a lot of it we made a lot of those with our of our own making. Actually, Vincent Young, despite the 2 yellows, didn't have his best game. I just don't like this. It just, to me, it just looks imbalanced. And I know tonight, perhaps Penny's coming back from a knock. We didn't perhaps have anyone else to to play there naturally. Left-sided player to play there, but it just, to me, it just doesn't look right. It just looks unbalanced. And he had a good game Saturday. He really did. He wasn't at his best tonight. That's for sure.
He wasn't.
No.
Evening to Andrew. Great desire shown from Burns and Norwood. Even Selena getting stuck in. Shame about KVY getting sent off. Yeah, we'll talk more about that in a bit. Thoughts on Norwood? Obviously, Jackson and Norwood, probably a bit of a throwback, isn't it? To see those guys starting again.
It didn't really work as a two. I didn't think really. Jackson, frustrating as always. And he's had good moments, to be fair. Had a couple of good, first half, a couple of lovely balls across the box. He got away down the left and put a couple of good balls across the box there, but generally sloppy in possession a few times. And Norwood wasn't at his great. Not saying that a brilliant amount of service, to be fair, tonight, but Norwood wasn't at his best, was he really?
Evening to Alex. I will soon put a stop to great stuff in the comment. Come on, Alex, we believe in you. And there you go. Even not so great stuff. And maybe it's all in the eye of the beholder, Alex. We are glad to have you with us. Good day to Michael. Edmondson sometimes just needs to hit row Z rather than play around the ball around the corner. Yeah, there was certainly a moment where he could have got a second yellow as well.
He does, but I like to see him play because he's got that
Footballer.
in his locker, hasn't he? He's tight positions and he'll drop his shoulder and just turn away with the ball. I like to see that. He's got a good point though. Sometimes he can look as though he's overdo it, but more often than not, he'll get himself out of those situations. He's just such a tidy footballer, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Evening to Alex. Thank God for the flying winger with an eye for goal. Yeah. Hard to watch otherwise. I think we made it tight.
I agree with that. Frustrating watch tonight. We were sloppy at times, but as we said before we came on air, the pitch I think was a pretty good leveler there. Obviously they play rugby league on it and stuff, don't they? It looked a bit ropey.
Yep. What else have we got? FPL Tractor. Initially thought Bonner poked in the second. I think it was a deflected. Wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, they'll give that. They gave it to Burns on iFollow. It was obviously going in, wasn't it? And he sort of deflected it in on the line. So I guess that is Burns' goal because it was going towards goal, wasn't it? Yeah.
Even to Brendan, you're gonna have to help us out with the pronunciation there. I think that's cheers, isn't it?
It is cheers.
Yeah, we'll go. I'm not gonna try it. I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, cheers to you, Brendan. Great to have you with us as well. Let's do a few bits and pieces of housekeeping. As you can see, if you're listening to this again, it's too late. But if you are watching still live, we want to hear from you. Get stuff in the comments. We'll come to it. We'll just kind of do a bit of a recap, and we'll go through the kind of main bits and pieces of the win tonight as people are joining us. Worth just focusing briefly on Wimbledon, Dave. I mean, and all of this is kind of context for what we saw play out. No win since the start of December. Maybe Accrington 2-0, 21st in the league, 21st in the form table over the last 6 games. A lot of draws, but 3 defeats in there. Draws in the last 3, 1-1 draw with Burton last time out. They have that goal against Burton was their first goal scored since the 11th of December. Admittedly, they've had some postponements. Their last home goal was at the end of November. Did I say December for Wickham? Last home goal was end of November, and that run obviously continues. There are some postponements due to COVID in there.
It's quite interesting when you do listen, when you get the home, commentary from a different perspective. They mention on countless occasions what a very young side they had out there tonight. Obviously, they just sold their top scorer, Ollie Palmer, went yesterday to Wrexham, dropped down a couple of leagues. Obviously going to be well remunerated down at Wrexham there. So yeah, they were at great pains to sort of mention that a good few times through the game. And I thought they had 1 or 2 quite sort of tidy players. That Redoni always looks quite useful when I've seen him. He certainly was in the game there last year, and I think also at Portman Road he was half decent. Guinness Walker, isn't it? The
left the team up.
Left-sided player. Yeah, he's the one that scored a really good goal down here a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, so you got Nesta Guinness Walker down on the left-hand side. Hennigan is captain tonight, centre back,
Yeah.
because they lost their captain Alex Woodyard, who'd started. I think he's never present in the
Yeah.
central midfield. He's out with a hamstring injury for a month. So yeah, you add in the absence of I think Palmer's possibly top scorer.
Yeah, he was.
5
Yeah.
goals, two
I
assists.
think looking at it, I don't know for sure, but it's like I say, they're at great pains to say what a young starting 11 it was, and against how the experienced side that we were. So yeah.
Home record not as only 2 wins at home all season. They've doubled that away from home, but they've got more draws at
Yeah.
home than they have
Yeah,
away.
they could. I mean, can't score goals. You could see them. They could go, couldn't they? Quite easily.
So we and then in terms of the players coming in, Ethan Chislett comes in, only 5 starts, scored a goal. Aaron Cosgrave, who started up front, 2 substitute appearances, and now he's leading the line in absence of Palmer.
Yes.
Anthony Artigan
Struggling,
returned
aren't
after a spell on the
they? Yeah.
bench. And then Ipswich, Dave, I mean, I want to hear people's views, certainly in the comments about this. The key bit of team news for night is Tariq Baconson. I'm going with Baconson rather than Backinson until I'm corrected. Comes in for Sammy Morsey, who now has a 4-game ban. Dave, what is your perspective? I know you guys spoke about it and feared possibly that something might happen. And
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
come to pass.
let's say Mr. Holt has got his wish, hasn't he? I mean, it's just been totally done. Look, it's an odd one. You look at it, and yeah, he appears to lash out, and the player goes down easily. But I mean, Christ, it's in front of the 4th official. All right, the ref doesn't see it, but surely the 4th official certainly must see it. I mean, obviously, there was a lot of talk about it generally on social media, and once the owner Holt threw his oar in, it was just that's not inevitable, but yeah, the FA were always going to look at that. The EFL were always going to look at it, and basically, they could have been a worse punishment, thrown the book at him, basically, haven't they?
Yeah, and I don't know whether, because I think we appealed it, and I don't know if there's an extra game because they perceived it
That's
to
how it
be a
used to work. That's how
spurious
it
appeal or
used to
whatever.
work for a
It feels,
spurious,
yeah,
what they would
big
consider to
word,
be a
isn't it?
spurious appeal. Yeah, very frustrating. Again, you look at that game tonight. It revelled in a game like that tonight.
Yeah,
Absolutely revelled in it.
and Baconson getting up to
Baconson
speed, obviously, isn't he?
did okay at times, 1 or 2 sort of neat touches. He was just always, so I guess, on the periphery of the game. Carroll in centre mid. Again, once he got on the ball, he's just neat and tidy, isn't he? But not a player, I would say, in the. And Baconson didn't show that to me tonight, that he was a player in the Morsey mould to really drive the team. Early days for him, of course, but to really drive the team forward. And you just wonder, what's happened to Raheem Harper? What's happened to the boy?
Yeah, and I think Il Mazzuni played for the under-23s yesterday, so I
Yeah,
don't think was ever going to feature. But I think he
but
might be.
Harper's just not getting. I
Yeah,
mean, I know they from what you read, they've both been potentially put out to loan, but he's just not getting near the squad, is he?
no, well, and then you add Fraser into the mix if he gets fit, but now there's links with Swansea there. So suddenly the midfield is
looks
discussions again, isn't it? We don't know about anything about Evans yet either. Maybe we'll hear a post-match tonight.
I think I can see it Saturday. They'll both be out, and John Nolan will make a swift return. But unless it's spotted.
Over a year we haven't seen John Nolan now, isn't it? A triple change: Norwood, Jackson, Aluko coming in to replace Bond, Selena, and Chaplin. I think we've spoken about Bond perhaps needing a bit of a rest.
I was a
For
bit
quite
surprised
some time,
about Chaplin. I was really surprised at
yeah,
that one.
So Seb and I we watched the game together remotely, and Seb described this situation for any players of the Football Manager series where you do a bit of rotation against a lower team in a cup and expect to stroll it with the kind of your reserves. And it wasn't. I mean, I'm not saying that Jackson. I thought Aluko was excellent. But
Aluko was great. Yeah,
busy self, wasn't he?
Quality footballer. Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah,
but
he was very good.
It is, and Sheffield Wednesday away on Saturday. Obviously, a much more fearsome opposition and prospect there. But it did feel a bit of a strange one to see those guys. We've already talked about that already.
I would think the team Saturday, I mean, obviously without Morsey and without Vincent Young now, will resemble more the team of last Saturday. I would have thought the starting 11 with I would assume, Baconson again replacing Morsey, and I would have certainly thought Chaplin in for maybe Norwood as well. Chaplin in for Jackson, and perhaps even Bond back in for Norwood again.
Yep. The last bits and pieces. Joe Piggott's still around. You can still find him on the bench against his old club. I mean, they could do worse than Piggott online, couldn't they?
That was a point I was going to make. Would it be any great surprise if clearly they're struggling, obviously struggling for goals. All right, you can't point to his goals tally this season. Hasn't really had a chance, but certainly he was comfortable at Wimbledon and scoring goals for fun at Wimbledon. So that wouldn't be any great surprise, perhaps, to see him back there on loan.
Torrey Simpson returned after his loan at Swindon was scored. He wasn't on the bench. I guess no real surprises there. That situation a bit confusing as well. And Nigel Ladke either Holy continues to deputise on the bench.
You would think he's going to be off somewhere else, wouldn't you? You would think, but then I don't know. Why would you not just leave him at Swat? It's an odd one. That is a very strange one.
If you've got any latest in the know transfer gossip that you want to share in the chat, feel free.
I mean, I just assumed like he was back. I just assumed, didn't you, to see him? Wimbledon away. I just assumed to see him pitch up on the bench tonight, didn't you? I really did.
Well, and there's a lot of chat that Piggott and Jackson were both off as well, wasn't there? That circulated on TWTE that seemed to be quite reliable.
I must admit, I never thought I would see. I think I said it earlier tonight. I never thought I'd see Norwood and Jackson start in a league game for Town again.
No.
There you go. There you go.
And worth mentioning as well that we Tuesday night wearing the white shirt where you wear it properly, i.e. not like Charlton where you should have worn the blue shirt, but you wear the white shirt on Tuesday night under the lights.
Always win. Guaranteed. Nailed on.
Mystical powers do kick
nailed on. Yeah.
I'll quickly rattle through it because there wasn't a great deal of first half action to get excited about. The thing that probably, I mean, there's a cross for Jackson. Jackson.
That was a good bit of play, actually. That was a very good ball from Carroll, wasn't it? A really good bit of play from Jackson.
And then there's a corner kick that is played out to Backen. I'm gonna have to say Backinson. I'll hedge my bets. Shot hits a hand possibly, and then on 37 there's a deep cross from Jackson actually into Backinson. I'm gonna flip it around and a bit of a shuffle. I've got a screenshot here. Joe
had a cheeky fiver on him for the first goal as well, didn't he?
Didn't he? 35-1.
He must have been jumping up when that went in, when it went across, but. I can see. Yeah, it's a little bit of hands on there, isn't it? Yeah, 6-1 maybe.
Maybe. And Wimbledon, Cosgrove hits the post. Cosgrove. Let me check the lineups. Let's have a quick nose. Cosgrave hits the post, but I think that was pulled back for a foul.
Yeah, it was.
And then the referee blew. The referee had enough of the first half and blew a little bit early.
Weird in itself. Did they make anything of that on Suffolk? They were apoplectic about that with the home commentary. They said he's blown up early. It never happens. It's like 30 seconds to go.
I think Brenner was bemused rather than.
Oh, well, I'd say probably the same. Yeah,
wasn't angry about it, but it seemed strange. But anyway, there we go. And I thought Wimbledon started the second half much better.
Yeah,
and it's all stemmed. Mick Mill said that the momentum swinger for AFC Wimbledon was this run from McCormick, which ends with Edmondson being penalised just outside the area for the foul.
That was a good break.
And a yellow card, but a good run there. Everything opened up for him, didn't it? And probably a decent foul actually in the end. And then off the line from a Wimbledon corner. And the marking here, I think Edmondson possibly gets spun here at the far post. It's
this is a weird one. He sort of gets the boy gets the header on it, and it's sort of cleared off the line, and then as sort of Walton is, I don't know, almost diving backwards for it. It comes off his heel, doesn't it? I thought that was in. I just thought, that's in and come. I thought it'd come out. It's one of those. It just gone in the net and come out again. But I think it hits Walton on the heel or something, seemingly.
Yeah, I think possibly Wolfenden's in there.
Yeah,
I agree. I don't know how that stayed out.
No.
And then we've got this double change imminent with Luco, Selena and Chaplin, and then suddenly Aluko, lovely ball down the line, and Jackson is dashing in, and it's a great move. And actually, the old school 1920 strike force, Dave, combined really well for this goal. It's a
good goal, actually. It's quite clever from Jackson because Jackson sort of plays that ball into Norwood quite early, doesn't he? He really does, and seemingly it's not that great a ball. It's not actually to his feet, but whether he meant it or not, it's quite a clever ball. It almost creates the angle for Norwood to sort of take it, so almost side on, and it's just a good run from Burns. It's a nice little weighted ball from Norwood, and yeah, Burns sort of goes through the keepers and hardly breaks his stride. A bit like, not quite like, because he hits it with more power, Saturday's goal, but similar position really. Just gets it out from under his feet, hits it hard and low, and yeah, probably slightly against a runner play, but yeah, a goal at a good time. It was a much more even start to that. Getting a much more even first half of the second half.
And as you said, it did feel like it was a little bit out of nothing. I mean, the second goal to me felt more out of nothing as well. And the game does drift a little bit. There's a really good stop by Walton. He's out really quick. I think is it Blade? I think.
Yeah, that was a good bit of play. Nice bit of play. Lifted forward, wasn't he? He was away. Yeah, Walton was off his line quickly. Yeah,
stems from Jackson trying to be Hollywood on halfway to Aluko.
I was not happy with that. No, not at all.
On his wrong side. Double change then. Selena for Aluko, Chaplin for Jackson. No surprise pretty much for the latter one. Aluko subbed with a view to start on Saturday.
I would have thought so. As my son said, Dad, he said, look, Chaplin and Selena coming on.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. Well, really? League One. I mean, it's ridiculous, really. No, but it says a lot for the depth of the squad, I suppose. But yeah.
McCormick curls a shot wide after Edmondson, and then
good effort.
KVY have brain farts at the back.
Yeah,
and I think that's to the point we've already made. I forget who it was. Sorry, about Rose Ed. I think it might be Michael. And then so I think has a shot at Walton. Norwood. I love this. Good to see some ITFC shithousery. The slowest walk off the pitch ever.
He's almost walking backwards. Yeah,
brilliant. We started doing a lot more of that, as you can see. Don't mind that. Went on.
Part and parcel. Christ, I mean, we saw Saturday. And over the seasons, we've had enough. We've had enough of it against us over the seasons. Goodness me, about time.
And then, as I say, I think there's a nice pass through from Carroll to Burns, who has a dink that's deflected over, and then 3 minutes later, Dave, it is 2-0, and
it's a fantastic ball from Bond. What a ball from Bond! That is brilliant, and it just opens up the whole of the right side, and he's just on his bike, and just what you want. Again, hard and low, and deflected in from the defender. I think we both thought at time that perhaps Bond had touched that in on the line, but seemingly, the ball was on its way and it was past the keeper, and it was going to go in the corner, whatever. So, and the defender deflects it in fairly central position in the goal. So that will be, you'd hope that would be Burns' goal. They've given it to Burns on iFollow, so you'd think that's Burns' goal.
If Bond's got to the end of it, he's galloped quite a long way up the pitch, doesn't he? To be fair to him, but
to be fair, he has. Yeah.
And then Baconson does a Harry Pell and kicks the ball out of the stadium on 89. Yes. And then this second yellow card for Vincent Young. The first is for time wasting from the throw-in, I believe.
Yeah.
This one is rolled by the Wimbledon 16. I forget the name, sorry. And it's a clear foul.
Yeah. He was treading a fine line there.
Yeah, Mick was saying that Mick Mills was saying, Mick, like a first name terms of Mick Mills, said that the referee was kind of waiting. He felt like he was waiting to find a moment to give him a second. Yeah, it wasn't a great night, as you've already mentioned.
No. It's just look, he's a class player. We know he is, and I thought Saturday he probably had his best game since he's been back. But since he's been back, since he's got over those, the ages he had up with the two injuries, the operations and stuff. But and Saturday I thought he's really effective from there. But not tonight. It just doesn't look balanced for me. I'd always, naturally want a left-footed player playing there, albeit, I witnessed Mick Mills playing in there, and probably the greatest Ipswich side for, 5-6 seasons with Burley at right back. But you've got to think that perhaps he is waiting for Coulson. Maybe Coulson is close.
Dragging on though, isn't it?
Yeah, when it is. I mean,
I know we spoke about it. But
we said on Sunday a couple of weeks ago, the question was raised, and McKenna said, it was about Selena and who I think were the only two injured players at the time, Selena and Coulson, and he said, yes, Bursant is closer than Hayden, but we expect him to see. But Hayden's training, so we expect to see Bursant back in the squad, and so be it. It was last weekend or weekend before. So maybe again Coulson might pitch up pitch up in the squad or even I wouldn't surprise me if he even started on Saturday. Nothing surprises me. That's what seems to be the way these days, because it's certainly lack of reserve team football, and the players just seem to come straight back in. But
Or maybe Edwards
Penny maybe
is on the
Saturday against
bench.
his old club, maybe. Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
And Bailey
Maybe
Clements
Burgess.
maybe around. Yeah, Burgess. Yeah,
Oh,
there's options there.
Bailey Clements. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the squad's ridiculous, isn't it? But it does
Yeah.
feel like it's crying out for someone to make that their position. And I think this tonight didn't really do much for KVY's chances, I don't think. I mean, Danassian could switch over maybe, then you lose the Burns Danassian connection.
That didn't go great against Charlton, did it?
It did not. Good point. That's a good point. Let's go to the comments. We will do a bit of a catch up, because I've just wanted to rattle through the match action there. Evening to Jack. And the difference I see from McKenna compared with Cook is if we play poorly, we still have the ability to ground out. It is weird how that happens. Even tonight, we didn't look great.
And that'd be funny. You'd think that Cook would be cut from that cloth, and we'd get results like that under him.
Force of will, isn't it? And
I don't know. Yeah,
it is crazy. And it's fair to say, I mean, Accrington was a great win when you look back on it, and Wickham the same. And maybe that is a bit of new manager bounce. We haven't really talked about it. We've given a lot of credit to McKenna because we've heard a lot of stuff about his great coaching, but there is something to be said for the new manager bounce.
I think we can say probably so far four league wins out of 5 is tantamount to a bounce for us. It certainly does.
For a club that never really gets it.
No, it really does.
Michael, happy Australia Day. There you go. To all our Ipswich Town fans who are joining us from Australia, happy Australia Day. Enjoy some Tim Tam and
indeed
4x gold or something like that. Andrew, another 3 points, but need to be a little bit sharper on Saturday. Come on, you Blues. Yeah. Chef Wednesday, different kettle
gravy.
Of fish.
Yeah.
We will talk more about them on the pre-match show, which will be
certainly. I know you will. Certainly in midfield there with people like the Bannon midfield, Barry Bannon in midfield, who can absolutely dominate. Morsey will be a miss there, I think, on Saturday.
But, I think they're making signings as well. I think they signed John Jules from Arsenal.
Yes, I think they did.
Possibly. Yeah. So we'll be talking about that in more detail. But certainly, as Andrew says, sharpness needed.
Definitely.
Alex agreed with Mick Mills. Yeah, I think there's general support. I think the general feeling is, as Davis kind of talked about there. Alex, a query about Jackson. Is it kind of the last chance saloon, do you think, situation for Jackson?
I mean, he did okay. It wasn't horrendous, was it? He did okay. He ran the channels as we know he can. He had a part in the first goal. You'd always get Jackson, working hard. His work rate will always be good. He's just his touch isn't always great.
Didn't really make the most of his surprise shot window appearance.
Well, no, he didn't set the world alight, but his
involvement in the goal, pre-assist.
He wasn't horrific, by any means.
No, Mick Mills rightly said Jackson did drift far too left. I know that's kind of how we play it, but maybe too much so that he wasn't really involved.
No, he wasn't central.
Kind of an attacking, like a forward sense, supporting forward. Rob, about 65% possession again tonight. We haven't dominated the ball like we have under McKenna in years. I mean, we have dominated possession, Dave, under previous managers, but usually it's for possession in our own half, isn't it? Sideways.
Yeah, we do, and we did have possession in. But do you know what I like about what I'm seeing at the moment is these players, like when we have got possession in our own half, you've got players like Wolfen and you've got players like Edmondson that will make far better angles, so that the passing just looks better, looks crisper, looks sharper. I think that's a key at the moment.
Yep. Evening, Andreas. Good to hear from you. Biles has said the P word. I'm going to put this up here. 74 points is on, lads, for the playoffs. Oh no,
no,
don't say it. I put it up there. No, well, I'll put the league table up before we head off, but it does look a lot more positive. But other teams around us have got games in hand, I think.
Certainly.
But you just keep winning. Just keep winning, Dave. That's all we got to do.
Keep winning that. And these, unless I missed some very, very late goals, I think both MK and Plymouth dropped points tonight, didn't they? I think
MK saw their game out, so they won 1-0, I believe.
Plymouth were winning 3-1 about the 88th minute, and I think that was Pilkington equalised.
So Ellis Harrison, Anthony Pilkington for Fleetwood turned that game around in the right at the death, like 89th. and the 92nd
92.
minute there.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
is helpful. Though I think Plymouth, of all the teams chasing, have probably got the
We're only like 3 points behind Plymouth. I know they got a game in hand. We're just 3 points behind Plymouth, and they must be dropping because I'm sure about a month ago
new
they were like
manager and
12,
all that. Yeah,
13 points. Yeah,
the momentum, it feels like it's
yeah.
sapping there. Rodders, good to hear from you. We wrote our alert, but got it done. +3 on to Wednesday, Saturday. I think that
Yep.
sums it up pretty good. Andrew, yeah, bemoaning they're wasting time on the throw-ins. I mean, there is an art to shithousery, isn't there? And maybe we're just a little lacking
Yeah,
in
you're
subtlety.
a little bit naive. You can't make it too obvious, can you? I think it was a bit too obvious, perhaps.
And as Andrew says, hit that like button. If you're watching YouTube, always give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe as well. It's great content. If the George Burley interview is still out there, by the way,
Oh,
there's some really fantastic feedback. So thank
yeah,
you if you've
brilliant.
given feedback. And Craig did a fantastic job. And George was obviously on my first name terms again. George, it's my dad's
George,
name.
Mick.
Was on great form. Really honest, particularly around the management era. So definitely worth a watch that. But yeah, give us a thumbs up. As 6 people have already done Facebook. Paul Westlake, thank you, Paul. Did some clips for us for the pre-match show last week. Simon, Mark, Andrew, Bar, Stephen, thank you guys for the thumbs up. We appreciate that. Let's just skip through and do a bit of a catch up. Roberts, evening to Robert. He's used the P word again there. I'll flash that up. Boom. Take that one away. Don't want to get anyone's excitement too high. Simon, I guess another point on the Jackson debate. Selection and indication that McKinney fancies him to stay.
There'll be a lot of people watching this go, no. Well, clearly he sees something. You'd think he sees something in him, doesn't he? Quite clearly. So wait and see. But he just doesn't look as you said, as Mill said on commentary. He just didn't. He did okay tonight, but he just didn't ever look a goal threat, did he?
No. Yeah, I think there are
From
better
out there
players
anyway.
in this position. Here we go. This sums up live chat in. Here we go. Impressed with Baconson. Backinson is going to be a player to annoy me. He's got everything but thinks he's full vodka. There we go. I love that. The debate continues.
Wow.
We love that. BGCN, a Burns double from Burns on Burns night.
Absolutely.
Means whiskey time.
Single malt, surely.
Cheers,
Couple of them.
guys. Yeah, Sully, Scott Twine goal.
Oh, ball bags. Oh, was it?
MK on 90 plus 5.
Oh, missed that.
That's the kind of win that gets you playoffs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you
I missed. I came in here too early. It was still 0-0 when I came in here.
Jamie, tough place to win and grind it out. Walton immense. Yeah, Walton. Not much to chat about Walton. A few hairy moments, but did well, and also has the art of time wasting down as well. Quite grabbed balls into his chest and then fell down.
Balls fall over. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And Bakers and Carroll Tidy Burns give us a counter outlet. Nor's ran his socks off. There you go. What's this? Pablo, where's Burns? The Bard of Suffolkshire. There you go. Jambo, if they had scored rather than hit the post, we may not have got back. Yeah, it did feel kind of nice, finally poised. But then Accrington scored first on Saturday, Jambo. So we've got that in us to come back from behind, haven't we? But yeah, it's a valid point. That momentum around half time actually did seem to go against us, didn't it, Dave?
Yeah. So just you have to ride your luck at times. I'd say we rode our luck, but certainly with that chance, that could have easily gone in, and then 1-0 down is a struggle. They put men behind the ball, and it is a struggle. But good to see that go with us for once.
Yep. Andrew, he wants an opinion from you, Dave, on Baconson. I think we talked about him quite a lot, and you've given us some views. He's still getting up to speed. Let's be fair to him. And
I think so. A bit too early to say.
From what I understand as well.
Yeah, so. He's got a good size of bat and rangy, isn't he? Sort of neat. I thought he was neat and tidy enough tonight. A couple of good control balls. Gave away possession a few times, as perhaps a few of them did tonight. But I think he'll be okay. But yeah, a bit too early to say whether he'll be a regular in there.
Yep. Alex, an ugly win, but so good to see us win the hard way again. Are we finding not a soft touch? Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah,
I think certainly fair. Certainly fair. Or it won't be for the next 3 games. It's certainly fair with Sammy Morsey sitting in centre mid. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then we've got a lot of stuff about the left wing back situation here, Dave. Let me plough through this and give you some options, and you can give us your thoughts. Patrick starts us off. How nice to win the evening games. I assume that means for a change, even games. KB's Wise red, Penny's injury, Coulson being MIA, forced the need to address left back position in the transfer market. And then we've got Edwards from Rob Martinelli, Martin Dill, sorry. Options there, Dave. You go for it. Are you dabbling in the transfer market, or
as I said earlier on, I like to see a left-footed player play left wing back. So nothing would surprise us if they did perhaps get a loanee in, depending on if that tells me that Coulson is too far gone. Perhaps we won't see him. And Penny, I'd have thought if Penny's fit, he'll play there Saturday. I would have thought
against his old club.
Obviously.
Yeah. There you go. Slonche.
Cheers.
Thank you, Pablo. Rob, back in 3-4-2-1. 3-4-2-1. Give scope for protection behind attacking wing backs. I don't think I've got an opinion of that. I'm just trying to do the maths to figure out if that is enough players.
Too many players there. I know
maybe too many.
There is 10.
Yeah, there you go. Is that the formation we've got? I mean,
is that how we played Saturday? That's pretty much how we played Saturday, was it?
I guess
pretty
it
much,
is,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
We had the two number 10s
definitely on Saturday. Yeah, it's fair point. Yeah. It's definitely Chaplin and Selena sort of Bond, wasn't
Selena,
it?
So, it was.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And Rob hoping Evans is back, pairing with Ilmers or Baconson.
Yeah, I think he just look. I thought Carroll did okay tonight. He's nice on the ball. He's my type of player. I'd just like to see a left-footed player like that, sort of composed and picks a pass and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe just lacks a little bit of physicality. He's still getting up to speed. He's missed a lot of games. Maybe lacks a little bit of physicality. So yeah, I agree with Rob. If Evans is fit, you would want him back in there.
Yeah, I like Carroll though. He's classy.
He is classy.
He is classy. Fraser can play in the centre mid as well. So.
Yeah. Fraser on the bench tonight? No.
Edwards was. I don't think there was any centre mids on the bench.
No, there wasn't. No, you're right. There wasn't. Kieran, my son, said there wasn't. No.
Yeah, you drop Selena in if you have to, don't you? There.
Yeah.
What's the point of Piggott? Says Alex. Ouch.
Well,
now below Jackson seemingly. I mean,
it's an odd one.
Much into tonight or not?
It's an odd one. Like we said, it wouldn't be complete. It's a sad one. It wouldn't be complete surprise if he rejoined his old club for at least till the end of the season.
Lee would have wanted Piggott to come up and Norwood. I mean, Bond's come on and got an assist, isn't he? And you thoughts on Bond getting a little bit of a rest tonight? I think that's a long overdue move there by McKenna.
Yeah, you've said that, haven't you? Yeah, you've said
just
that before.
Just to give him a bit of pressure off a little bit. But no one's come in and scored in that position, have they? So
and came on, as you say, got a really good assist. So yeah, I would certainly think he'll start Saturday.
Yeah, Michael thinking.
Yeah, true.
Little movement there. Rob, Scott, I thought the ref was particularly good tonight by League One standards. Complain about the key moments.
You can tell when they're good because I know we weren't at the game, but even on watch it on iFollow, you didn't really notice him, which is always quite good, isn't it? That's usually a fair sign if the ref was half decent. I mean, obviously you noticed him at the end, but yeah, I think he didn't have an option, did he? And I think it was totally fair. He didn't have an option. Clearly, I think Vincent Young was sort of cheating on most of those throw-ins, to be perfectly honest. So I think that was a fair book and an obvious one. Yeah, and an obvious one at the end as well.
Yeah. Promotion given is the name. Burgess on left next game. I mean,
I'm just trying to think. Sheffield Wednesday, who they got up front. You thought it worked when funny enough, when Coulson got injured. We've said this before, when he came on against Wickham and he just added that physicality to the left side, didn't it? It worked really quite well in that game. Again, that perhaps wouldn't surprise me. And we mentioned before, or Bailey Clements, of course.
Yeah, so it's Mendes Lang and Jack Hunt on the wide positions there. They've got Massimo Luongo there, by the way. But Barry Bannon, as you said, will roam.
Yeah.
And then Lee Gregory up front, physical presence. I don't
know. At least, funny enough, it was on earlier tonight on Sky Sports, they had these little 15-minute vignettes of old games, and it was the 2-2 game when Andre, we used to call him Andre the Giant, scored. At least they haven't got Andre the Giant up front again. Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Oh,
90-odd minute.
sickener.
I don't know why that's on there. I've got a real bee in my bonnet about these Sky EFL Classics because we only feature when we screw up.
That one's on there. The Forest 3-0 last game of the season's
Norwich in the
always
playoffs
on there.
is in there. Yeah, there's only games where we lose.
Norwich
or
playoff,
screw up.
Yeah. I console myself waiting for Saturday morning. The big match we visited were always brilliant.
There you go. ITV4, they know the score. There you go. That rhymed. Even
better. They're showing
the
right season at the moment, to be perfectly honest.
You are, yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel, this is interesting. I don't think Edmondson looks as comfortable in the 3 as he does as the main man in a back 4. More mistakes and poor passes in the last 3 games than all prior. It's controversial. I think that the formation suits us.
I think so. I think so, because either or, like I said, him and Wolfenden can bring the ball out. I think he looks reasonably comfortable. I mean, I think he's just had such a great season. To be fair, yes, he made that mistake against Bolton, and it just shows up because it was him, and he has set his standard. He's had set the bar so high, doesn't it?
I'm just looking through the comments. Sorry, there's a discussion going on. There's a very quick question and answer going on here. Andrew Sams, what does Piggott need to do to get a game? Pablo Canugo, leave. I think that kind of deals with that one.
Probably right. I mean, he Cook didn't fancy him, and clearly the new manager doesn't at the moment.
No, and
he's not even
getting
getting
a chance somewhere else.
Few minutes.
Into James. I haven't seen us close down opponents like that for years. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, there's lots of.
We said on Sunday, Rich, didn't we? I think we mentioned in the pod on Sunday that I think the fitness levels already you can see that. I think you can see they're improved.
Yep, and it's these kind of things that at this level matter. In the championship level and above, you're going to get time, aren't you? And it's more about recycling and intercepting. At this level, you've got to get in faces, and also the higher up the pitch you win the ball, the more chance you got to counter attack and break, haven't you? And score. Chris Jackson wasn't horrendous. He's being kind, Dave. As Mick Mills pointed out, he pulled the team out of shape very poor. Yeah, there you go. And
okay, well, let me rephrase that then, Chris. I've seen him a lot worse than that. There you go.
I'm trying to recall. I'm trying to put last year or the start of this year out of my head. That kind of running around March, April, Cook's opening few matches.
It's not good.
What else? Yeah, so we a lot of folk talking about MK. Julian, good old Watford. They changed their managers quicker than I changed my girlfriend's, and that's a kind of pained.
Bennett, Jules, you get from a rapid rate and not
you, mate. Player, hate
good
the dynamic player, hate the game. But yeah, Roy Hodgson at Watford. Do you want to? I know this is kind of Ben's remit, but do you want to give us your very quick?
Goodness me! Well, he's back doing that Red Adair type thing, isn't he? Yeah, I mean the writing was on the wall with Ranieri. It was you could just see that after the abject performance against Norwich last Friday. My goodness me, they were absolutely terrible. So, they're not cut adrift. Experience just a very un-Watford type appointment. Really. Well, one, he's British. Watch that with interest. Watch that with interest. I think. Yeah. He'll do well. I think, the run they're on, he'll do very, very well to keep them up. Whether they've got, I haven't really noticed whether they've got some players coming back from the African nations. I'm not quite sure.
Perhaps.
Ben will know. Ben will be shouting at me now.
Yeah, head over to Ben's channel. I'm sure he'll talk about that. I mean, the new phrase in the Premier League, it used to be chat shit, get banged, as in Jamie Vardy. Now it's lose to Norwich, get sacked, isn't it? That seems to be the way of things. That's how bad Norwich are, which gives me a little bit of warmth in my heart sometimes. David, thank you for the kind words. Gray did a great job with the Burley interview.
Yeah, he was super.
And as expected, George Burley, a great communicator as well. What else have we got here? I
didn't think after the first one, I didn't think that, the second one, okay, the management, obviously going to listen to it. And I thought that even topped the play a bit. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Lots of nice words in the comments now as we catch up. Biles, Jackson scores Wembley winner. Didn't say who for Biles, though. Robert's going for a 2-0 win. Robert's always positive. This is what we want.
Would you
take a draw? Would you do a Mick If after you a draw, would you get on the
I'd
coach?
take. Yeah. We said on both Joe and myself said on Sunday that 4 points, a win at Wimbledon, point at Sheffield Wednesday. You don't lose any ground to them. Yeah, we'll take that home game the following week.
Crinfrenber, bit frustrated with KVY. Felt like he'd been playing socks off, and the shirt.
Well, not tonight. Saturday, yes. Yeah. I think we both thought he didn't have a great game tonight. Danassian was though. Danassian.
Some great touches.
His first touch, mate. Honestly, what a footballer. I mean, just didn't think. I know the old cliche. He was loaned out and stuff like that. That he ever had that in his locker, but he certainly has.
Yeah. So Seb and I were having a chat while we were watching it. Who'd be in your running for the player of the season? Because in the previous few years, it's been scant. Let me remind you, James Wilson won it last season, and immediately his contract wasn't renewed, and he pissed off to Plymouth.
I mean,
Chambo possibly the year before, was it?
So far this season, probably 4 players. So that would be Danassian.
Oh no, they didn't do it the year before, did they? Sorry,
I think they did.
Chambo the year before that.
I mean, so far this season, you'd say Danassian,
Burns.
Edmondson, Burns, and I guess you've got to put Bon in there as well.
Yeah. I was thinking that Burns would run away with it, but Seb thought different, and I think Danassian's got a real claim.
Well, if Burns continues his scoring run, I think Seb might be onto something there. I would have thought.
Yeah. David, this is interesting. I like these conspiracy theories. Do you think the fact that Coulson's not been sent back is that he's a summer signing? The deal's already agreed. Ooh, like
there
that.
you go. Potentially, yeah, potentially.
Sam Page videos, does some really great compilations. Give Sam a follow. Pickett's on a huge wage apparently. Difficult to line out with regards to the club covering some of the wages. I mean, at this point,
it's a good point.
I think we take a little slither of those wages just to get him some confidence and some game time elsewhere, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
If that benefits us longer term. There's some views on Fraser which you're all entitled to that I obviously disagree with. That's fine. I'll put that up there. I'm not censoring things, but shocking is probably a bit extreme there. I don't think we've used Fraser to what his strengths are. And I think if he ends up going to Swansea, it'll be like Flynn Downs all over again, guys.
No, I tend to agree with you, Rich. It's because he's not explosive, is he? He's not he's not quick. He's not blessed with explosive plays. But technically, he's a footballer there. I totally agree with this, though. I totally agree with this.
Yeah, the Harper situation's strange, isn't it?
Odd. Absolutely odd. I saw him. Yeah, okay. It didn't really till Morsey came in. It was clearly perhaps he was going to drop out. Him and Evans at the start of the season didn't really work. But he's athletic. He looked good on the ball. He's strong. Just hasn't worked out for him yet. But he's young. And Alex, we said what an absolute brilliant ball that was.
I like this is an origin story of Pablo Canuga's name. Canuga is how someone said Pablo's name on Radio Suffolk once. I heard someone refer to Bersant as Celine, as in Dion, on Saturday. Don't ever change people of Suffolk. Yeah, don't vet the phone then. That's what we want. What else have we got in here? Let me do we'll do a couple more minutes and just plow through the remaining comments. Just worth mentioning, Blue Monday, ITFC.co.uk, all the details of all of our shows, all the links for stuff. If you want to watch, if you want to listen, if you want to donate kindly, we do appreciate those. It's obviously at your discretion. This will always be going out for free, but any support is well appreciated. Ben made reference to the Friends of Blue Monday, this little group with piloting the idea of the pod channel and a few of you guys and girls sponsoring players. We've sponsored Lucy O'Brien, who's hopefully going to feature for ITFC Women on Wednesday, tomorrow, as we're recording against Gillingham, on the back of a hat trick, Dave, and another assist for Abby Lafayette from a corner. You'll be there.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, tomorrow. Looking forward to that.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So do say hello if you're at ITFC Women at Felix Day tomorrow.
Evening game. Yeah,
under the lights. Do wrap up warm. And as we mentioned, pre-match show back on Friday morning. Seb and I are talking about Sheffield Wednesday, and the flagship show back on Sunday. I believe Ben is back in the host's chair with you again, Dave, and Craig, I believe.
I think so.
So, a week off for Joe, who's got plans. How dare he? And he was there tonight, obviously. So there you go.
Probably buying another property.
Exactly right, yeah. They buy one of those flats.
Add to the bulging fares property portfolio.
Yeah, portfolio. There you go.
Yeah.
What else have we got then? Just going to finish off these last few comments. Sorry, I'm just reading through these. What have we
You're only going to
got?
read the printable.
I just some censorship is happening. Some stuff is going on here.
Is there people saying that Dave's an effing idiot?
No, not about us. Yeah, I might be
If
slowing
he
down.
thinks Jackson was anything else but shite.
Edmondson and KVY's a combo's not great. Feels he plays. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
thought.
I know it's
What's
a balance
Edmondson...
thing, Mike. It's just a balance for me. Yeah.
Yeah, but also the point about Edmondson's mistakes that was, there have been a few mistakes, but that is a factor as well. You've got a right footer alongside you and your left centre back. Then I think that's probably a fair point there, isn't it? A few views on Stuart Morsey deserved to be sent off. Why did Watson and Andy Warren not mention it? Or I think it's a difficult one to comment on because I don't think unless you looked at it, unless you've got footage that is definitive, all of us are kind of obviously the FA believe they've got enough to, make a decision on it.
The FA suddenly, to my mind, see it as a bloody haymaker, and it was anything but that. Really, it didn't. I don't know. It's very subjective, isn't it? But clearly they've looked at it, and it goes against. It just, I say, they're throwing the book at him, as we said earlier.
Yeah. Nick, on the way back from the game, thanks for joining us, Nick. We played better this season, but good to win a game when you're not your best. Burns gives us so much width, makes the pitch bigger for Selena Chaplin, our creative players. Yeah. Another good night for Burns,
honestly think the pitch was a bit of a leveler tonight. It looked a bit lively all the way through, didn't it? And these pitches they play rugby league on it and stuff. I thought they did, but when we did get the ball down and played it crisply, we look okay at times.
Yep, I'm just double checking something that cropped up in the comments. I might not have been able to find. Yeah, someone saying that Flynn Downs got sent off for Swansea tonight, but I'm not looking in the right place.
I think Ben was doing that game. That was Ben's watch along. Was it QPR, wasn't it?
Was it? There you go, Jack.
I think it was QPR Swansea.
Yeah. I will see if I can. It's not important. He doesn't play for us anymore. There you go. But Jack sharing the information. That's what we want. James B. Hope everyone's has used. There we go. Some important announcements here. Hope everyone has used their team card points for Pack Out Portman by the end of the month. 31st, they run out. By the queues in the shop on Saturday, I think most people have. But if you haven't,
shout, James.
Get on it.
Good shout, mate. Yeah, I think I've got some points to use, definitely.
Robert, what about let our young striker have a game on the bench, Simpson? Do you think he might feature? But we think he's going somewhere, don't we? It's weird that situation.
Well, we just don't know. Like we said, I half expected him to appear on the bench. On the bench tonight. So all will be revealed. I'd have thought we'll find out a little bit more in the next few days on that. I would have thought.
Yep.
Sheffield, here we come.
There you go, Blue Heart. Pablo Canuga, a place in the sun with Jay Fairs. There you go.
Yeah.
I think we've exhausted the comments, and to be fair, we've done pretty good anyway. If you want a shout out, if you want a final prediction prediction for Saturday against Sheffield Wednesday, now is the time. Get it in there. As I mentioned, Blue Monday, itfc.co.uk. All the details there. Let me quickly put the league table up so we can get a little bit excited by that. There you go. Ipswich in 8th on 41 points. 5 points off the playoffs, Dave, but with having played a game more than Oxford, who are in 6th.
Yeah.
Plymouth have played a game less than us. Sheffield Wednesday, who we face on Saturday, 2 games less. Portsmouth, 2 games less. But all you can do is win your matches.
All you can do. Yeah. Keep the stretch of winning 4 games out of 5, and that will be good enough.
Yep. And do you want to give us a prediction for Saturday?
I'll revert to the old school. I'll take a point Saturday. I'll take a point and a 1-1 draw. Yeah.
1-1 draw. I think I'll go for that.
Yeah.
2. We've got one final question. They go FPL Tractor. Which 2 out of Aluko, Senior and Chaplin would you play behind Bon on Saturday? I quite like Aluko.
I think I'd like to see Chaplin start, and it's a toss up between the 2. I'd have thought Aluko. Aluko was good again tonight, wasn't he? And Selena's a nice luxury to bring off the bench, isn't he?
Yep. There you go, David. Doing the right thing. Team card points For kit for his nephew, next generation, no Man City
Absolutely,
shirt for him.
Dave.
Well done, David. That's what we want.
Don't start that. Exactly.
2-2 draw for
2-2,
Julian.
Desmond. No, I can't say
Eric
that.
Claxton wants a draw.
Yeah,
Michael wants a
take it.
2-2 draw.
Yeah, I think he might. I think
FBI Tractor wants a 1-0. I think we know.
There we go.
There we go. Boom. Pablo Caduga, if we win Saturday, then lump on tomorrow. It's a statement win, isn't it?
If we win on Saturday, I'll begin to believe that we will begin to believe.
Book your hotel at Wembley. No, don't do that. Whopping Blue wants a 1-0.
Yeah.
Who remembers Kuwambi's goal? Yeah. If you go to my Twitter at Ipswich, it's a pinned tweet. All of my ITFC goal machine posts from the last few years, either me or stats on this day. That goal, I think, is there. If it isn't, Julian, I will post it.
What's that then?
And I think he does the kind of Kiwami dance behind the goal afterwards. It's the white away shirt, I believe he means. 92, 93. Julian, correct me if I'm wrong. It should be on there.
The Fison's white
Fison's the blue one, yeah.
Yeah,
blue sponsored lettering, but white shirt.
Yeah, nice.
I think he just slots it in, probably past Chris Woods, I think, I would guess, in goal. But
possibly. Crikey, that was a hell of a Wednesday side, that.
Yeah, Waddle.
David Hurst, John Sherritt. Wow, yeah.
John Harps.
Cup final side. I mean, 2 cup finals same season, probably. Yeah. If that was the year I'm thinking of, bloody hell.
I think so.
Great side.
Martin Stevens, best mate, is a Wednesday fan, says they are a mess. 2 midfielders in the back 3 on Saturday. There you
Hutchinson,
go, giving us hope. David, I mean, that's a great final word, isn't it? 4 from 5. Come on, you Blues. That's what we want. Danny, a lot to ask to dominate with so many changes. Let's be positive. Take the 3 points. Take a point now on Saturday. Agree. Flim Flam, black and grey shirts on Saturday. Yeah, got yours yet. You can buy them without Ipswich logos on for about 20 quid on the internet, I saw, from a football shirt retailer. So if they don't go on the auction site, Flim Flam, I might have to do a DIY version. But yeah, that is on my radar along with Joe. Alex is going for the win-win-win. Romeo's going for a 2-1. There you go.
Take that.
I did go for 100 shots equals 100 goals. Now 50 shots. Oh, wow. 50 shots, 50 goals for the rest of the season. There you go. Thank you for that. And Eric, we'll end with this. Great stuff. Again, really enjoyed it. Thank you, Eric, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the back of Ipswich Town. Well, AFC Wimbledon, I should get it right. AFC Wimbledon 0. Ipswich Town 2. Ipswich up to 8th. 5 points off the playoffs. Who knows what could happen, eh? Let's see.